It is. I hope you don't have a hard time with that. Like y'all's bedroom that y'all are going to share? We did so many things in that bedroom. Oh my gosh. Stuff I can't even talk about on TikTok.
She thinks that this would trigger a younger woman, but it's really not going to have the effect that she's hoping it will, which is just a shame because it's embarrassing for her. Hey, it's Christine Grace. Welcome back to my channel. Today is another reaction video. Guys, like the video on your way in. Let's get straight into it.
A divorce is definitely like a death. It's like someone punched me in my stomach, in my gut, and just like took my air out of my body. I'm not gonna lie, I'm scared. I'm scared. This is a big deal. This is a big deal. I'm going to leave my home that I've been in for 20 years and rebuild a life that wasn't supposed to be alone. It was supposed to be with him. It's still hard. Rebuilding your life at 51 years old, it's a lot.
Welcome back, family. Today we are reviewing this 51-year-old woman who decided to destroy her marriage of 20 years so that she can find herself again. Let's first start by watching her cry the day her divorce was finalized.
After 4.5 long years, it is finally over. It's over. I am now a divorced woman. And
I just thought I'd come and tell TikTok all about it.
I knew when this happened and when I got the final word, I knew I would have different emotions, and I tried preparing for them. But I don't know how you actually prepare for it, because what I feel like is like someone punched me in my stomach, in my gut, and just like took my air out of my body.
Look, some of you might find my reaction to this pretty heartless, but I'm thinking a multitude of things here. First thing I'm thinking is it's quite sad that she has no one to speak to. You would hope this is the kind of thing that you would see between close friends or family. It's a shame she has to go on TikTok. Second reason that I'm not reacting particularly empathetically is because you reap what you sow. You made your bed, so lie in it. And too many times we see these marriages break up, and when it's on the fault of the woman, so the woman has initiated it for no seemingly real reason. A real reason I would consider would be something like abuse, addiction, maybe adultery. Even still, depends on the horrific details of that. But like, these are things that like you can kind of see how a marriage would fall apart. Some people can work through these things, and I do believe you should always strive towards that. But those things is kind of like, okay, I can see how a marriage fell apart. 99.9% of these TikToks and these videos that I react to, this isn't the case. It's not the case. And typically what you hear is, I wanted to find myself again. You know, I realized we grew apart, we didn't want the same things. Like, it's always something that they've made up as like they genuinely believe it's a real reason, but it's basically an idea that they've had that they've inflated into a reason to end a relationship. And then they always cry about it and act like they had no choice, and they act like they had a gun to their head and they had to make this horrific decision. So no, I don't feel particularly bad when I see women crying about the choices that they've literally made in their life. Cry about it. First of all, don't cry on TikTok about it. Cry in private, but then own it. If you are miserable, why don't you help the next generation of girls and come online and say, look, I had this wild thought one day, I ran with it, TikTok encouraged that idea, and it grew into a reality, and I now regret the reality that I have formed for myself. But take accountability and realize that you absolutely created that reality for yourself. The problem I have is that none of these women will do that, and none of them will take accountability for their own lives and realize, actually, we have a choice in life. Unless there's literally a gun pointed to your head or you're in some kind of immediate physical threat, you actually do have a choice for the circumstances of your life. So if you're unhappy with your life, it's down to you to change it. It's no one else's responsibility.
And I'm not crying over the fact that we're no longer together. I'm crying over the fact that none of it should have happened like it happened.
Right. But as a result of it happening, you are no longer together. And as a result of that, you are crying. So this is another thing that women do. They'll say, oh, it's not this, it's that. But it's like the two things are consequential of each other. So it's basically the same thing. Like, I'm glad these videos exist, because I would hope that younger women would see it and be like, I don't want to be like that. But my fear is that a lot of younger women see this and being women, their empathy just peaks, and then they just think, oh, how horrible, and I guess this is just something that happens in life. No, this is not something that's supposed to just happen in life, and it's because of like these TikTok climates, cultures, mini societies of women encouraging each other down bad life choices that we are seeing more and more of this. So my advice, just avoid TikTok altogether.
And there's this sadness inside of me that like it's going to somehow affect our grandchildren and
probably
generations to come, and I just hate that, I hate that.
Well, again, like, she's very clearly unhappy with her choices, so it's like, why did you make them then? Also, like, she can't be that unhappy because she's coming on TikTok crying about it instead of actually doing something about it, instead of actually talking to the husband, instead of actually talking to the grandkids or the children.
And God, I wish I hated him. Oh my gosh, I wish I...
Oh, here we go, the typical, he was such a good guy.
I hated that man, but I don't hate him. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay, but I'm not going to lie. I'm scared. I'm scared. This is a big deal. This is a big deal. I'm going to leave my home that I've been in for 20 years and rebuild a life that wasn't supposed to be alone. It was supposed to be with him. But don't get confused. Do not get confused. My life is good and I am blessed. But it's still hard. Rebuilding your life at 51 years old. Trying to find a place to live. Probably relocating to a new city or a new state. It's a lot. But I'm going to do this. You just watch and see. I'm going to be better than ever. I've got this.
Guys, I will say it one more time for the people at the back. Do not feel sorry for these internet crying women. They are not victims, and in most cases, they are actually the perpetrators. And I will prove it to you in this next clip that will show you how her ex-husband saved her from these streets with her 5 kids. But the thanks he got was a divorce. Let's watch.
Okay, if we are going to be completely honest, we knew. We knew pretty early on who they really were. They showed us. And I know this for a fact because people can't hide their true colors for a long time. I mean, I have to be completely honest with myself, which I don't enjoy doing, because then I have to see all my faults and all of the things that I did.
Are we getting a hint of accountability here?
That led up to the end of my marriage, the breakup of relationships, and that's the hard part. But I'm going to do the hard part because I'm not going to continue this pattern. I've had this pattern my whole entire life, and I refuse to continue. So from now on, instead of talking so much about what happened or what was done, as I like to say, maybe to me, which makes me sound like a victim, and I'm not, I am going to focus on my role in things and what was broken inside of me that allowed the things to happen. I knew not to get married. Pretty long time ago, knew not to do this. But I did it anyway. Why? Fear? Yeah. What were my fears? Afraid of being alone. I was a single mom with 5 children.
Wow.
And here came this man that I thought was going to rescue me and save me. And he did, actually. He did. But the problem was, by allowing that to happen, I put my whole being into this man.
As you should.
And I was no longer myself anymore.
Right, so suddenly life became about someone other than yourself and you couldn't handle that.
So I have been spending the last few years trying to figure out who the hell I am.
Oh, here we go.
why I do the things that I
I love it when women do this. I don't love it. I hate it. They will they will sprinkle a bit of accountability by saying all of the right things, by acknowledging what accountability looks like. Then, right when it gets to the part that they actually have to take that accountability, they somehow manage to switch it into, but it was still him. It's not quite accountability. You're not quite there. Almost, very almost, but you're not quite there. Concerning, considering this woman is over 50. But anyway, 5 kids, wow.
It's not fun.
This woman is 51 years old, and she is still talking about trying to find who the hell I am, why I do the things I do. This is how fucked up modern women mindset is. They claim to know nothing about their lives.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, all they know is to break their families by divorcing their husbands. This is not about finding herself. This is just about being free to do whatever she wants, whenever she wants, with absolutely no responsibility. On top of everything, she admitted being the bad parent, and she also admitted being a controlling bitch. Check it out.
I really don't think I would describe me personally as a shit parent, because I don't even know what a shit parent is. I would say I was more like a mentally unstable, controlling bitch
Okay, now we're seeing accountability.
back then. Yeah,
Oh.
I think that's a fair assessment of how I was. Thank God my children are mentally stable and they are able to forgive me for so many things because they realize I'm not the same person that I was when they were growing up. Now, I'm no longer mentally unstable, nor am I controlling. The bitch part?
Okay, now we're seeing accountability.
Sometimes.
I can actually respect that.
These types of old modern women can keep faking their happiness online, but we all know that they are truly miserable behind closed doors.
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt she's miserable. I don't actually think in this particular clip that she's trying to paint that she's happy. She is trying to paint a kind of like, I almost want to say like martyr complex, like, oh, I'm this kind of saved, renewed person, which she may well be, but I'm still not quite seeing an element of peace that you would tend to see if someone really has taken accountability for their life. Perhaps that's the misery that's kind of bleeding through there. I don't know the lady. But I can't lie, that particular clip, we did see some accountability. So fair play.
All they are trying to do is to scare and lead younger women astray, instead of teaching younger women the mistakes they've made so that the younger ones can make better decisions. They prefer to lie to them because they are jealous of them. And I will illustrate that to you in the next clip, where she is trying to scare the younger women who are showing interest in dating her ex-husband.
This is a message to the one who will be moving in after I move out. First, let me start by saying congratulations. You're going to move into a beautiful home. It does need some work. It has to have the roof replaced and some things like that. And he's going to do that for you because he wants to impress you. When I moved in, we did all kind of stuff. But I just need you to know that every
She's coming across really bitter already.
room in this house is going to have a memory of me.
Bet you ain't there.
It is. I hope you don't have a hard time with that. Like y'all's bedroom that y'all going to share? We did
Remember when she said she was mentally stable? We're back again.
so many things in that bedroom. Oh my gosh. Stuff I can't even talk about on TikTok.
She thinks that this would trigger a younger woman, but it's really not going to have the effect that she's hoping it will, which is just a shame because it's embarrassing for her.
Or I will get thrown off. And if you want to go from that room into another one and think you're going to make that y'all's bedroom, we did it in there too.
Wow.
Every room of this house. Every room. Kitchen, dining room, living room, game room. That pool table will support a lot of weight, a lot more than you might think. And I'm not saying this to be petty. I'm just saying
You sound very, very petty. You sound gross.
you just need to understand that a lot of memories were made here. A lot of memories. And so, yes, you can paint it. It's going to need new painting and some new floors and stuff and make new memories, but just don't be surprised if the memory of me pops up in his mind occasionally. And the pool? Oh my gosh, you are going to love that pool this summer. However, if you've got a problem of us being, in...
I just question how she thinks she's coming across. I feel bad for her, I can't lie. Someone in her personal life needs to tell her, like, you're not quite having the effect you think you are. Like, she's coming across like the young, immature woman, right? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, she looks old, but she's coming across like a bitchy 20-year-old. It's like if you were 20 years old and doing all of this, then maybe the new younger woman that comes in, there might be a bit of cattiness there, but it's like, you're an old lady behaving like a 20-year-old. So you're just making yourself look silly. If anything, it would be better for you to just not do any of this, because at least then you seem like, I don't know, just anything is better than this.
that pool. You'll have to get him to dig you a new one. Yeah. Diving board on there too. But the slide? Oh, no. Girl, you're fine with that.
So gross.
We were too big to go down the slide, so no. Oh, but the boat that you're going to enjoy this summer? Memories.
You can clearly see how bitter this woman really is. She tries so hard to put on a facade, but it is just not working. The next clip will show you that since she divorced her husband, she keeps posting videos of her being sad while trying to convince her audience that she will be fine.
I spend a lot of time by myself, and I'm not usually lonely. I enjoy my own company. But today's been different. The last couple of days have been different. And I just have to shake this off. I have to get through this. And I will. I always do. But I let my guard down. And I knew better.
Eesh.
Won't make that mistake again. Lesson learned.
This is the real-life
You would hope so. At over 50. You would really hope so.
reality of these divorced women. Their lives are sad, but they always pretend to be happy on the internet. While her ex-husband is being pursued by young, hot girls, she is here trying to convince herself that she made the right choice by divorcing her husband. No, ma'am, you decided to destroy your family for selfish reasons. Now you have to reap the consequences. Fellas, do not try to save women for the streets, because if you do, you are going to find out the hard way that to these streets she
found a man willing to take her on after she was a single mother with 5 kids, and she still thought she could go elsewhere and do better. And now she's saying, oh, find myself, all of this, but it's like, girl, you are over 50 and you still don't know who you are. You just threw a man away who was willing to take you on as a single mother of 5. And you lost a house with a pool and a boat in the process. It's smart. Anyway, what do you think? Why don't you let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts are on this particular video, because I am, lost for words at this point. Really don't understand how someone can paint themselves as a victim in the situation that their own actions have led them to. Guys, please give the video a like on your way out. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please hit the